In this video, we're going to look at how to insert a footer into our Excel file. So when we print it, information that we've chosen appears on each page. We're also going to look at how we'll go about printing our file for submitting assessments. We're not going to print our assessments on paper, so we're going to look at how we can make PDF files so that we can submit these as part of the assess task for the Engineering Using Information Technology unit. First of all, though, we want to insert a footer. This will be something that will display on every printed page. In the menu at the top, I've selected page layout here. This is something that does vary in different versions of Excel, but in all versions you should be able to find an area about page setup, and you'll see there's this little square with an arrow coming out of it. That means we can expand our options and see what else is in it. In some versions of Excel, you'll find an option for headers and footers in the menu. You can go straight there, but here we don't have that. So I'm clicking this box here, and I get a little menu, and you can see on top it says page, margins, header, footer, and sheet. I want to select header footer. I'm going to enter a custom footer so that I can dictate. There's some options you can pick. So some of these will be useful things that you'd want to use as a default. Here I want to set my own custom footer and click custom footer. And I could type in some text here I wanted to, but actually what I want Excel to do is to display my file's name, whatever I've saved it as. So I'm going to use these little buttons along here. And for the left of my footer, the one that looks like a little Excel file, if I hover over that, it'll insert the file name. So it puts in this little and symbol in file. And this is going to take whatever we've called our file and put that onto every page we print. In the center, I want it to display today's date, and I can see there's a little thing that looks like a calendar here. It indeed says insert date. Again, this, something we call a field, will take whatever the current day's date is from our system clock on our computer and print that at the bottom of our document. So I'm going to click OK here. Again, the little preview of what it's going to look like. So this file is currently called electronic component number sold. So that's appearing there. The day is currently the 27th of February, 2022. So that's appearing there as well. So I'm going to click OK. Now anything I'm going to want to print is going to turn out like this. I'm going to select from cell A1 down to cell G10. Because what I'd like to print first of all is just all of the data, all of the information, not the two charts yet. And to print this by itself, I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Print, and there should be an option, Microsoft Print to PDF or some kind of PDF printer. This again will change depending on what computer you're using, but in the college there should be a print to PDF option. And you'll see with the settings, I can print active sheets, which is anything we're working in, print the entire workbook, which is every single sheet, or just print selection. That's exactly what I want to do, only the cells I've highlighted. If I change it to print active sheets, you can see at the bottom here, it includes both pages. If I change it back to print selection, I've just got one page at the bottom with the information that I want. At the bottom, the footer that we've created. So I click print here, and it takes me to save my PDF file. So I could call my PDF something like electronic sales data, maybe. I'll save that. One other thing you'll be asked to do in the assessment is to print out your spreadsheet, but this time showing all of the formulas. This is something we don't do a lot in Excel, but it is something that's quite easy to do. And again, it can look different in different versions of Excel, but in this version, if we go into the Formulas tab at the top, I can see there's an option over here, it's called Show Formulas. And what it does is it takes away all the displayed data that we had. Instead, all those sum functions we've created to add up our data are displayed instead. And for the assessment, you do a similar thing here. You select all of the data that's contained showing the formulas, go into print, save as a PDF, and do the selected cells only. So you'd have a PDF that had just these cells, and it doesn't look particularly useful or interesting, but it's something you have to do to meet a requirement. It's helpful when you're sharing information sometimes with other users of Excel so they can see where your information is coming from. So go and click that just now. The last thing you'll be asked to do is to print off your charts individually for submitting for assessment. If I select one chart and then I go into File and Print, it automatically has the option to print just the thing I have selected. So you want to do this twice, once for the bar chart and once for the pie chart like we've done here, and save these as separate PDFs. Because in the assessment, you'll be asked to share your spreadsheet with the formula showing, and share any individual charts you've created, and all with separate PDFs along with your Excel file, and submit those into the Dropbox for assessment.